Good morning. I'm Sarah Garrison, and I'm using my teacher voice. I have a long history of working in the helping professions, women's health care, an EMT and paramedic in a busy 911 system, detox administrator and addictions counseling intern at a residential rehab facility in Reno, and crisis intervention work for survivors of rape and other domestic violence. These past careers helped me in the middle school classroom every day. I'm a WEA member in the midst of my 10th year teaching at Dilworth Middle School in Sparks. It wasn't until this 10th year that I reached $50,000 as my annual salary. That's a 10-year investment of my blood, sweat, tears, and love for my students, middle school students at a Title I school who are not always easy to love. Because of inflation and the drastic cost of living increases in Washoe County, being a decade-long education professional is not enough to be able to financially support myself. As a 48-year-old professional woman with a bachelor's degree in psychology, a teaching credential where I'm highly qualified in science, and a unique occupational background that allows me to translate education standards into real-world scenarios for my students, I simply cannot afford to live in the city where I teach. Not on my own. Instead, I'm renting the small back part of a house where I live with a roommate. By small, I'm talking 500 square feet. Since my rent takes up about 50% of my take-home pay, I'm forced to work a second job to get by. During evenings and weekends, time that's usually dedicated to the outside of the classroom teacher duties, which are endless, I'm instead driving for Lyft. During 2021, I brought in over $20,000 with my part-time job. That may sound lovely, but to do that took a ridiculous amount of long hours, along with wear and tear on my car, and an incredible lack of sleep to accomplish. The haggard teacher look is a reality. Why on earth am I killing myself at a second job? Because my chosen profession, arguably the most important career of them all, does not pay me enough to survive. I'm not talking about thriving. I don't dress in designer clothes, nor am I taking long, extravagant vacations. I'm not filling my shared refrigerator with healthy organic foods to enjoy after my daily massages. When I share with my Lyft passengers my full-time job is as a middle school teacher, their reaction is always the same. First, they gasp. They say they could never teach middle school, mostly because they remember how they were as middle schoolers. And they always say, "You have such a tough and demanding job. You deserve to get paid so much more." Your constituents,
And I
your
don't want
voters...
to cut you off, but if you could wrap up and...
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They don't know half the realities of a day in the life of a classroom, and they still know we deserve to be paid exponentially more. It's well past time to listen to the voters, listen to the teachers, and listen to your own hearts and souls about Time for 20. Which of your teachers had a huge impact on your own life? In today's economy in Northern Nevada, just how much would that inspirational teacher from your past deserve to be paid?
Thank you very much. Next. Go ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Debbie Reynolds. I'm a first grade teacher at Hunsberger Elementary in Washoe County School District and a proud member of WEA. As a college educated and credentialed teacher, I've been blessed to be part of this highly prestigious occupation for nearly 20 years. I've enjoyed the incredible opportunity to inspire hundreds of children to read and to write and how to think critically in ways that I know will impact their lives forever and those of their children as well. If we in the state of Nevada say that we believe education is important, then we must acknowledge that teaching is a highly prestigious profession. What teachers are asking for is to simply be treated as professionals. You, sitting before me today, are esteemed and greatly respected individuals who won your elections because you are uniquely gifted at communication and leadership. And you have a vision for Nevada to reach its greatest heights. I know there are many teachers who encouraged you on that journey, and they believed in you, and they taught you, and they inspired you. And I know those teachers are still applauding you today. They are so proud of you, and they're never going to stop believing in you. Do you believe in them? Do you see them as esteemed and highly professional, trained professionals? Because the future of this profession is truly bleak. The best teachers of our times are retiring early. They're walking away. They are feeling discouraged and disrespected. The best teachers of our future in our colleges are sadly choosing other professions. Education is for our children, and dreams are for every child in Nevada. We all believe this, but dreams, they need to be nurtured, taught, explained, developed, and in a way that only the highly prestigious profession of teachers can do. There's no greater return on Nevada's finances than to take care of teachers and schools. The rainy days, they were a long, long ago, and our time is short. The waters are rising, and this is your chance to change everything in Nevada's future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next.
Hello, my name is Amanda Jones, and I currently serve as a special education facilitator and a special education teacher for WCSD. I also serve as a special services director for Washoe Education Association. I've worked in education for 16 years. I have a master's degree in administration and educational leadership. I'm also a mother of a graduating senior this year, a third grader, and a kindergartner. I love teaching, and I love watching our children grow and become more successful. I want you guys to imagine for a moment, close your eyes, and imagine that you are supporting students with extremely violent behaviors due to no fault of their own, but they have disabilities such as emotional disturbance, autism, health impairments such as fetal alcohol syndrome, as well as severely impacted trauma and PTSD. In our specialized programs, you are to protect yourself, the student and other students as well. You are kicked, punched, spit on sometimes daily, weekly, while called every name in the book. We block our bodies for protection, and as students escalate, we are trained to restrain while providing de-escalation supports. You can imagine the bruising and emotional abuse that we endure again while not even being paid a cost of living wage. A program like this allocates for one assistant, making $18 an hour. And if you're lucky, someone has picked up an aide job for $13 an hour. A new teacher makes about $2,700 a month, and none of these wages will get you an apartment in the lowest income housing in Reno. Recently, a teacher was attacked from a student in a specialized program in Washoe County, and the school shut down the very next day. Students were rezoned for safety, and a new social intervention program, another high needs program with no teacher to teach it, opened. I took on this role as it is what was best for kids. A few weeks ago, I was stabbed 3 times in the leg. The student grabbed the back of my head with a fistful of hair, dragging me down, where they proceeded to punch me repeatedly in the head. The first week, I was sexually assaulted multiple times, hearing vulgarities that broke my spirit. By the end of the day, I broke down and cried, hearing such dark comments. This story is not unique. As part of my role as a special education facilitator, I have connected with hundreds of special education professionals across the district, and all of them have similar stories. I am still here taking this position because it needs to be filled, but who's going to take this position and other positions that are needed? Right now, the lack of competitive wages for teachers and aides, lack of resources and supports at sites and at the district level is forcing teachers out of the profession quickly. There is money to change this trend in the Nevada Rainy Day Fund. Leadership is not about being in charge. Leadership is about taking care of those in your charge. And today I have heard a lot of discussions about infrastructures, but none of this matters if we don't have teachers teaching in the classroom.
Thank you very much. Next, please go ahead.
My name is Jetutonov, and I have been a special education teacher for 7 years. The last 5 years, I have worked at a Title I middle school in Reno. I have a master's in educational leadership, and in addition to teaching, I am a department lead, member of the school leadership team, MTSS coach, special education teacher mentor, and I represent my school for the Washoe Education Association. I love my job. I love my school, I love my administration, my colleagues, my students. I love the work that I do. And I know so many other educators can stand up and say the same thing. However, we are at a critical point in education where loving this job is simply not enough. Each of you knows there is currently a teacher shortage crisis, which has heavily impacted special education programming in Washoe County. My school started the year with a brand new strategies program for students with autism, and over a month passed before someone even applied for the position. We also had a special education resource position go unfilled as well at the first semester, not to mention the multiple unfilled paraprofessional roles. So those of us who could, we stepped up because we love what we do. We gave up our preps, we overloaded our caseloads, and we worked hours and hours outside of our contract. We did what was best for students, and in turn, we drained ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm here today to represent those students, my department, and special education teachers across the state and call for change. There's money available in the Rainy Day Fund to properly increase per pupil funding and provide students the supports and resources they require and deserve. There is money available to increase wages for paraprofessionals that accurately reflects their roles and responsibilities. There is money available to offer competitive wages and make special education a desirable career path for future educators in Nevada. Not to mention, it will eliminate the need for educators to pick up part-time jobs just to make ends meet. I know money will not buy the love that is needed to do this job, but it will push us in the right direction and bring new educators into Nevada public schools, and it will help you keep what few special education teachers you have left. We have done our part. We stepped up when it mattered most, and now it's your turn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to share my experiences as an educator. My name is Doug Brubaker, and I have been a teacher since 1991. In that time, I have taught in the inner city schools of Los Angeles to Incline Village on the shores of Lake Tahoe. I have taught middle school, high school, earned a bachelor's, a master's, and recently completed 56 additional units in math so that I could help fulfill an unfulfilled position. I do not come here today to talk about myself, but rather my students. A senior in high school today is experiencing their first normal year school. Sadly, it will be the only one they know. COVID changed their experience. This is true of every single student in high school. Ninth graders have never known a normal year unless it was elementary school. This has put them behind not only in the fun experiences that school offers, but as also the powerful journey of learning that we love and dedicate our lives to. This is a crisis made worse by inflation, rising housing costs, and teacher recruitment and retention. We currently rank 49th nationwide in spending, and yet you still get results that put us about the average of the nation. That's kind of remarkable. The governor is asking you to place billions of dollars in a rainy day fund while our students and staff are experiencing a blizzard of challenges. I am asking you, if now is not the rainy day, what is? Money is needed to stem the hemorrhaging of qualified teachers who are taking jobs that pay more. Students need money invested in their future to rekindle the discovery of learning future skills in pursuit of college degrees or vocational learning. Nevada is growing. This is not new. But what we are trying to recover from needs money to help it. Please consider the challenges our students face due to this not only rainy day, this is a blizzard of challenges. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And next.
Good morning. My name is Gilbert Lenz, and 23 years ago, I graduated from Nevada schools. I had amazing teachers who inspired me and taught me the skills that transformed me into the man I am. That man is a decorated Afghanistan combat veteran, a major in the Army Guard, a certified welder, and a Nevada career and technical education teacher. I teach ag welding and power systems in North Valley's High School in Reno, and my students build Nevada. They are your structural welders, your mechanics, your electricians, your plumbers. They build and maintain our buildings. They fix the machines that transport our freight and ourselves, and they carry Nevada in their capable hands into a brighter future. I've been teaching for 15 years. I hold a master's degree and teaching certifications in 9 different areas. Each day, I leverage all of my skills and experience to craft 150 teenagers into those builders of Nevada's future. One of my favorite moments is the inevitable event when I get a call from a former student a few years after graduation, and they say, Lenz, I'm doing great. I just want you to know that I just got a raise, and now I'm making more than you are. Over the years, I've witnessed a great struggle to hire and keep skilled teachers in our schools. A couple of years ago, I actually had to sell my prep so I could cover down on the school's diesel tech program in addition to my welding program, because we couldn't find a teacher willing to take a 70% pay cut to come out of industry and come teach at our high school. I understand that the state has a rainy day fund with a significant amount of money sitting in it, or about to be sitting in it. It is raining now. In fact, it's pouring rain, and it has been for a while. It's time to start paying Nevada's teachers what they're worth. Nothing short of the future of democracy is at stake. It is time for 20, and it is time to fund Nevada education now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Melinda Bauer, and I've been teaching for 12 years. I currently teach at McQueen High School. I'm a member of Washoe Education Association. I never thought I would have to be here today away from my students during the school day to talk to you about the importance of education in our state, but I'm here because we're in a crisis. The working and learning conditions of our public schools are in desperate need of attention. I'm here to ask you to increase public educational funding by at least 20% in order to offer competitive salaries that will attract and retain quality teachers and to decrease class sizes in our public schools. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I have my bachelor's degree in Spanish language. I earned my master's in Spanish literature. I started teaching in 2009. I taught from 2013 to 2015, I taught AP IB Spanish, and my students scored in the top 10% internationally both years. I'm knowledgeable and competent in my profession. However, in 2015, I became part of the 44% of teachers that leave the profession within 5 years. I was great at teaching, but my $28,000 a year paycheck as a new teacher wasn't enough to repay student loans, pay rent, and eat. $28,000 in 2008 is the equivalent of about $39,000 today, and right now, our starting salary in Washoe County is $41,000. So effectively, there's only been a $2,000 increase in the past 15 years for teachers. It's absurd to think that any talented person would work for this salary. A 20% pay increase is necessary to attract and retain teachers in Nevada, which could still be unlikely since even with the governor's proposed increases, Washoe County would still be 30% under the national average in educational funding. When I left teaching, I doubled my salary, I didn't have to grade or lesson plan on my nights and weekends, and I wasn't verbally abused by adolescents on the daily, but I wasn't living my passion. I loved teaching. So 4 years after my initial resignation, I re-signed with Washoe County. I'm 5 years into my reignited career, and nothing has changed. The pay is still low, my classes are still overcrowded. And now I'm a mom, and I would have to quit again if it weren't for my husband's financial support of our family. Unfortunately, I don't have time to address the mental health crises that our students and teachers face, nor the learning disadvantages of our overcrowded classrooms. So I just want to end with thank you for voting for that 20% increase in our educational funding as the first small step towards bettering the public educational system for our children. Thank you.
Thank you very much.